Okay, so Tyler, I I ain't been saying nothing, but I definitely have to mention it. You like all this cussing, huh? I see you up out of the church, you down there to the Netflix, and you like all this cussing. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review. Hmm. Episode 4, Beauty in Black. And I've been kind of like really not saying too much about it because I'm a cusser. I'm a cusser. Oh, I will cuss you. I'll cuss the shit out of you. I'm a cusser. But I have actually noticed how much cussing is actually in this script. Um, See, there's an art to cussing. There's an art to cussing. And you know people that don't really cuss. And these people don't really cuss. Mm-mm. Debbie Morgan, Richard Lawson, they don't really cuss. They don't really cuss. Mm-mm. Now the guy that played Horace, he's a cusser. Uh-huh. He's a cusser. The guy that played Jules, that motherfucker's a cusser. You could tell who cuss. Because I cusses. I come from a family of cussers. And you can tell. And you can see where it's like written in the script. And it's just overly, it's just too much. Tyler, you ain't no real cusser. You know, you penning it because that's how you think it's supposed to be penned. You think this is how these people are supposed to talk. But people who really cuss, again, there's an art to it. I'll just say that. There's an art to it. And you can tell when you pushing it, and you are literally pushing the cussing forth. But whatever. I hope you do get another season. I hope you get another season of this because there's some kinks and some bugs that you could actually work out, and this will flow better. You might not never listen to nobody though. You may not listen to nobody. Look at me as nobody. Pay attention, Tyler. Pay attention. There's some kinks and some bugs. You could just work out of this and it'll just make it just flow. The show's good. It's good and it's ridiculous and it's all that we've been missing. Anyway, so here we go. They're in here, Charles and Horace. It's the hypocrisy for me. Horace, you a whole piece of trade. Period. You're a whole piece of trade sitting around here ready to pay for boys and all of this kind of carrying on, but you got so much issues. And this is a real problem because this really goes on. The person that's screaming the loudest, the person screaming the loudest about the rainbow is colorful as hell. It just is what it is. And I like Horace's character. I do. I like Horace. Um, I'm loving the guy who's playing this part. But the truth of the matter, how this is written, this is real. This is a real person who the person screaming the loudest about the rainbow is the one resting at the base. But he talks so badly to Charles about, you're a loser. You let a man climb on your back and you're a fruitcake and this, that, and the other. But don't you be doing the climbing? You dishing out funds so you could do the climbing. But you over here bottom shaming your son. You over here bottom shaming your son. He's a loser. If he's a loser, what the hell are you? Now, Charles is a fearless, smart mouth queen. He cares less. When the uncle was threatening Charles and told Charles something about the wife, he said, you know I didn't do it. You know I didn't run her over, but I wish I did. Now, you know that was definitely a response I would have gave. That is, I intend to cut deep. That's what I do. Baby, I don't play no games. And I will hurt your feelings on purpose. And I said, that's Charles. Charles, old nasty bitch, will hurt your feelings. I said, oh, wait. Oh, wait. And then he told, it's real good to me when Norman and Horace go at it. Baby, that's good. Right there. Them sparks are flying. That's good to me. Every time. Them two lock horns, baby, I get excited. I said, this is what I'm talking about. They locks horns, baby. They got something going on. When he told him, he said, where's your kids? And he said, that's low. Now, I want to know that story. I want to know that part of the story. Where is his kids? Is it that he can't have none or something? Or something happened to him? There's got to be something more about that. We know, Tyler, there's some hidden gem with that. So I want to hear more about that. But anyway, when he said that's low, if my wife dies, I'm going to burn this to the ground. I said, okay. Them two, I get into, I like them too. Barney, something up with Barney, with your fine self sitting over there. Barney just like, I don't care how y'all fight. I don't care how long y'all fight. I don't give a shit how y'all cuss each other out. When we gonna get to the good part? He runs talk about the money. Oh, Barney. I said, look, and wait, and Tyler, really? You could give Terrell Carter a better name than Barney. Barney. Okay. Look more like a Taid or something to me, baby. I don't know about Barney, child, but okay, whatever. Ain't my story. But I'd have gave you something good, Terrell. You would have been walking around with nobody calling you no Barney, baby. Not at all. Anyway, moving on. Later on, we see Horace and Olivia, because everybody pretty much just like scattered out of that office. There's like enough. We got Horace and Olivia. Now these two. Olivia then went to Horace, told him, don't make him mad. That man is the devil. Now she's running around like she's really truly scared of him. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? You got children with Horace, and you were married to Horace, but you're so afraid of Nelson. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe Nelson really is just as bad. So I'm just listening. Then she goes to Charles, and she's telling Charles, you gotta take this serious. Stay away from him. Like she was literally telling him, come stay with me for a few days since they all live down that road, that little family road. She really wanted him to stay away from him. Like she really is fearing that he's going to come for her sons. And I'm like, really? I mean, is things that bad? You really want to come for your nephews like that? But it'd be like that. Family fight harder than anybody else. So it just, that's why it's not a good idea for your family members to get into it. It's not a good idea for you to allow your children to fight each other. That's something my mother was really, really big on. My mother never allowed, me and my brother, we did not fight with one another. We weren't allowed. We literally weren't allowed. You talk about getting active. My mother will completely activate if we got too loud with each other, and she went to fight. My mother didn't allow us to get into it like that because, as I've grown up, it really is the nastiest fights are between actual blood relatives. So my mother didn't allow that mess in her house at all, or outside of her house. We still at grown big age boys, and my mother don't play that mess. But that's just something that's ingrained in us. We don't do it. I do more fussing than anything. My brother don't even. He just be like, all right, go ahead. What'd you say? All right, you done? Okay. And he going about his way. He don't pay me no attention. But I don't, doing all that with my brother, child. Anyway, moving right along. Kimmy and her mom. Now, Kimmy's mother's on my nerves. She's on my nerves. That tramp. And that's what she is. She's a tramp. She ain't about nothing. She wanting money. Now, you threw her away. You literally threw her away as a teenager. You calling her for money. And the boyfriend is still around and tell me he don't like you on the phone. You're a tramp. You're a tramp, and I don't have nothing for her. I don't have that. This is my big chance. And you know, she really like. I mean, she talks to Kimmy like she don't like her. She, I just need some money. I was like, not at all. That's that old abusive. You feel bad for the child part in it because children are naturally drawn to their parents. She really needs to be able to detach and compartmentalize her mother to where she don't fool with her. Is what she really needs to do because her mother ain't about nothing. Anyway, moving on. Angel and Kimmy end up talking. Angel wants to run a play on Horace. He then looked up the watch and he seen the watch is like worth like $1.5 million or $1.2 million. Ridiculous. He wants to run a play on Horace, and his girlfriend wants in too. I said, Angel, yeah, you're not to be trusted, so you watching that girlfriend. She's a wild card too. Moving on. Then we got Norman and Olivia. Now here's their exchange was very interesting, but the writing was so irritating to me because, again, neither one of these two people were CUSSers. Okay. So the delivery of this thing for me sucked. I'm talking to you right now, Tyler. You were directing this. You didn't. I know you're not gonna sit and tell me that when they was running this back and forth. Did y'all do a table read on this? Because this feels like take two of a table read. It was horrible. It didn't flow well. And literally, if you took some of the profanity out, it would have been more impactful. The profanity in this didn't make it impactful. It's supposed to be so gripping because of the words that are being said, but it could have been said in a more effective way, less the profanity. The profanity is not what makes something grab somebody up in their throat. It's the placement, darling. It's the placement. And you don't need 6 motherfuckers on top of 12 bitches to do. You could literally call somebody 1 foot dragging bitch and that be enough. I can't believe I'm actually like giving a class on cussing. But that's the truth. That's the truth. You could took that whole scene. Let me just tell you what happened. Okay. We found out that the two of them then laid up before. In the past, they was laying up. Brother-in-law, sister-in-law, doing the horizontal mambo, honey. They was getting down. So I want to hear more about that. She threatened him because he was threatening her boys again. She threatened him with pulling up folks from some cases that he did when he was a judge, and bringing it back and having them turn state's evidence against him. He like, I'm not worried about that. And he told her, why are you trying to take up for these horrible motherfuckers? She's like, because they're my horrible motherfuckers. I was like, it just didn't flood. I was like, that was corny. They're my horrible motherfucker. I was like, that was corny. That was corny. And then she told him, you trying to make me be the bitch I used to be. I was like, it was like 2 pages of cussing. 2 pages of cussing. When literally you could have like did something in there where he did the threatening of the boys again. He threatened the boys, and she could have literally told him very quickly, if you go anywhere near my boys, I'm going to drag you through the dirt, you bald mouth son of a bitch. And that'd have been the end of it. And that's just as abrasive. That would have been just as abrasive as that 2 pages worth of cussing. Because ain't nothing like somebody call you old bald mouth bitch and I'll drag you through the dirt. It would have been just as effective. All that cussing. It was like all of this word jumble. It was like vegetable soup with no juice. You know, it was just too much vegetables. Get some of that vegetables out of there. You need some pot liquor. You know, it was too much. It didn't flow. It just didn't feel good to me. It was like too much cussing. I was like, ugh, okay. That was enough cussing in that one scene for 3 pages of the next episode. Seriously. Let's move on over. Let's go talk about Miss Mallerie, honey, and her messy tail. So Calvin and Jillian, that's the little assistant girl, and the driver. And the little assistant girl, we seen her, she basically is almost just a little taller than like a little person. And her head looked big. I said, she got a strange symmetry. But I said, okay. I mean, that was cute girl though, cute girl. But it was when you see her standing up next to somebody else, it's like, oh, she's almost a little person, which is nothing wrong with being a little person. But yeah, I was like, okay. Anyway, them two is having some words. We didn't figure out them two kind of mess around with each other, and they stay in like the guest house across the hall from each other. But of course, you know, people are always watching. So they got a little private thing going on. He's fussing at her. He's asking her, did you give him head? Talk about Roy. Come on, Roy. And she's saying, you know, they own us. Instead of she ain't denying it. Like, he didn't even get to finish, you know, because his wife came in and this, that, and the other, and on. I said, okay, all right. Anyway, so they're there in the restaurant. When she ends up leaving the restaurant, okay? Because her, Mallerie and Barney have this back and forth thing where she basically ends up asking him, do you want to fuck me? And he's like all choked up. And I'm like, well, why is he so choked up? Like, I mean, you can see she got eyes for you. I seen it. So he's like, he's trying to avoid it. I'm saying, why is he being so whatever? All right, Barney. His name is Barney, is enough. That's enough to throw you off. And then she told him, because you can. And he basically turned her down. You know, she's an evil bitch anyway. So she was just like, damn. So he said, I'm just going to go ahead. I haven't had enough to drink. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go ahead and leave. She said, wait a minute, honey. See, everything is about appearance. Everything's about appearance. You're not going to leave me sitting here. How embarrassing would that be? You get up and leave me here. She said, no. I'm getting ready to get up. And I'm going to leave. And you'll be here alone. And then you'll pay the bill. It's the least you can do. And she got on up and she left. And on her way out the door, she told Jillian, find you a way home. Get another ride. Find you a way home. I said, now, I don't know what Jillian and Calvin, I don't know what y'all got going on, but Miss Jillian, I could pretty much tell you that's code for, baby, I'm getting ready to screw Calvin in the car. I said, oh, find you a way home. I said, she's really a mess. She really is a mess. Anyway. And listen, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. Went through Calvin and her, went through this whole little thing. He lied to her about Jillian. No, I ain't messing around with her, this, that, and the other. She told him, you know why I dressed Jillian like that? So don't nobody look at her. So don't nobody look at her. He caught on right quick and he went on and ate her up in the car, okay? Jillian had her an Uber and she was falling behind. And she's saying that the truck had done pulled over. Baby is over there eating her up. She knew what was going on. So over there screwing her man. But girl, you can't be so mad, girl, because you was over there gobbling up old Roy. So whatever, and we know Roy don't never finish nothing. Roy is terrible sex-wise with his cute little self. He just can't quite get it right. Anyway, so that's that. He got a lot of issues. Anyway, So that was going on. Let's go over here to this Horace and Kimmy. They're in the club. They're in the same position. They back to, she's like, okay, to be position you so you can look at Angel. He look out the thing. Angel's over there talking to somebody, and I'm zooming in on who it was. Charles, child. So now he's freaking out, and he's trying to figure out what's going on with Kimmy. Kimmy got a whole lot going on in her life, period, any old way. Trying to figure out what's going on, and that's when he's like, go out there and you stop that. So she went on out there. She shut it down. She just told Angel, you can't talk to him. He's bad news, whatever. Horace is like, okay. All right, cool. Because he was like real jumpy. And she said, you just paranoid. I'm like, no, he got a lot to lose in this whole situation, especially with him hiding everything. And he's always giving Charles a hard time. Anyway, so they decided to go back. Angel, she told him Angel wants to see him. He like, for what? He's like, yeah, he want to see you, whatever. So she's like, do it at your place, whatever. They go back to the place. Now, Angel's ready to get into something with Horace. Kimmy ain't on board. Kimmy's like, So she's like, listen, I ain't down with all that, Angel. Now, he says, okay. So you get there. He's sweet talking Horace. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a while. You might as well take a drive. It's going to be a while. And she's going to say, no, I'm staying right here. And Horace is like, go ahead. Go ahead. Take like an hour. I need about an hour. I said, look at this old nasty butt. And they went on. Child, listen, him and Angel was up in the room. Angel done got all naked, doing his little thing. He looking at him. And Angel, I'm like, wow. You could tell that Angel has done research on him because he's getting real cocky, like he's a little cocky with things. Child, next thing you know, he getting all into it. He's sitting over there, Horace. And Horace is sharp. He really is sharp, older man. He's sitting there looking out. I took and coughed up blood on Angel. And Angel, you such a tramp. You're such a beast of burden. He done coughed up blood on you. You done ran off and said, what the hell is what you got, Catchy? Hey, I wouldn't give a shit if what you had wasn't catchy. If you coughing and blood is spouting out your mouth onto my person, baby, what's sexy about that? Now you really into some things that I can't get with. Blood? The blood? I don't think so. Then you wiped it off and he told you keep dancing. Kept right on dancing. You really are a dancer for money and any old music will do. That's you. You that girl, honey. That just the best. I was sitting over here cracking up. I said, look at you. Anything for money. Dutch marks are dollars. No, Angel, you ain't about shit. Seriously. But that was going, he told me, no, I'm fine, whatever. Go ahead, whatever. I'm going to swing going back over the other way. Calvin and Jillian end up running into each other. They have a little part. Listen, his breath is smelling like Mallerie. Okay. And they argue, and she told him, I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell Roy. And he's like, I don't care what you do, because now he think he done hit pay dirt. Everybody's treacherous. He feel like he done hit pay dirt with Mallerie, but Mallory's a bitch. Please don't think you get ready to take her down that easily. But anyway, he told her, I don't care. She gonna say, that's okay, tough guy. I'm gonna tell him, you know what he'll do to you? I'm gonna tell. I said, okay, little big head. Go ahead, little big head. See what happened, girl. Last thing happened this episode is what I told y'all was going to happen. She went back. Listen, didn't they tell her to stay her black behind out of the hospital? But she go back to the hospital. She go to bed, it's empty. I said, well, you know, Tyler Perry his imagination ain't that vast. She dead. Like I told y'all she was going to be. I said, Tyler, you couldn't think of no better way to do that. You couldn't think of no more colorful way to do that, but you done wrote 12 pages of cuss words altogether for what you putting your energy in the wrong places. But yeah, she dead. Like I told y'all, she was gonna be there. And there was some random woman over there laying there that said she dead. She dead. I was like, girl, shut up, bitch. So she did, like I said she would be. Poor thing. So that's it. No more. What's her name, child? Yeah, her. She gone, child. I said, okay. All right. Anyway, all the cussing, Tyler. All the cussing. All right, y'all. That's it for episode 4. It good, but just a bit overdone for me, for my liking. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comments, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode later.